Hey everybody, Bill Einelli and Associates Real Estate. Thought we would update Phoenix, Arizona statistics, what's happening, what's going on with the whole entire area. Haven't done that in a few years. I've got an older one here on YouTube, but now it's 2019, so we're going to update what's happening with the Valley of the Sun, or Phoenix, Arizona as it's known. Actually, a little tidbit for you. In 1871, Phoenix was named. A guy named Lord Darrell Dupa, kind of an extravagant guy, came through here with some people, and they were going to do some farming. Actually, saw the Hohokam Indians and a lot of Indian remnants and things like that around here, and we're going to do farming. And they decided, what are we going to name the place? And originally they were going to name it Stonewall for Stonewall Jackson, and then in Pumpkinville, because they saw some pumpkins growing out here, which is kind of strange in the desert. And Lord Dupa came upon Phoenix because he saw the sun and the rising, and he said, you know, the Phoenix rising, the Phoenix bird, and it stuck. Otherwise, we might be known as Stonewall, Arizona, which would have been weird. So there's a little trivia for you. People don't even know how these towns are named, and thought I'd throw that in there. But here's the statistics for Phoenix, Arizona, what's going on right now. This place is exploding, obviously, you know that, on what's going on out here. Phoenix itself has about 1.6 million people in the city of Phoenix, but it's called Maricopa County, and you've got to factor in Gilbert, Arizona, you've heard of that, Chandler, Tempe, Glendale. There's all these little towns surrounding it. They're not little, and it's just kind of, it just keeps sprawling. So in Maricopa County, there's 4.3 million people, which is pretty crazy, and continuing to grow. People are coming here from all over the place, and people go, where are they coming from? Well, by far, they're still coming from California is number one. I'm seeing more people from Oregon, from Washington, and from back east, Chicago, Wisconsin, Iowa, the Dakotas, New Jersey, New York. So you're seeing a scattering of people coming from all over the country, and it's quite incredible. And even Canada used to be really big, but their dollar is not as strong. So we're getting about 5% of the sales are from Canada, people coming to retire, or snowbirds we call them here, where they come here in the winter time to escape the cold. So we have a lot of that going on as well. Average rainfall, only 8 inches a year. Right now it's August. We should be having these what's called the monsoon season, where it rains every day. We had some of that in July and August, but not enough. So we're not getting enough rain here the last couple years. 8 inches of rain is not much anyway, but when it does rain here, sometimes it really rains hard for an hour or two and pours during that time of year, and we'll see some of that in the winter time as well. Temperatures, well, obviously today in August it's 104 degrees. In the summertime, July and August, the most brutal, really warm. But the average year-round temperature, 72 degrees. So it starts cooling down here around Halloween. That's when you break out the windbreakers and jackets, and it continues nice. Last year was very mild all the way up until late May, early June. But July, August, June, July, August, September, not gonna lie, it's warm. So you have 7 to 8 months of great weather, 3 to 4 months of hot. It is dry. People say, oh, it's a dry heat. Well, it's still hot, but there is a difference. Go to Houston, go to Florida, go to the Midwest and experience the humidity, and then come out here and you can stand 110 here or 105 here with 10-12% humidity, much more than you can stand back there with 80-90% humidity and 90 degrees. There is a huge difference. I'm coming into, we're in North Scottsdale right now, way North Scottsdale, coming into an area called Cave Creek, Carefree. You've heard of Carefree Highway, the song. Well, that's where we're at. And this is beautiful out here, but we're way north of Scottsdale. I'm going to take you around into Cave Creek, which is kind of a western town. People come out here to enjoy the scenery and restaurants and bring their people visiting out here, because it's gives you a really good feeling of the Old West. So that's the temperature out here. What about employment? Top employers, private employers and non-private employers for the state. Number one is Banner Health. Obviously, we're getting older, population's getting older, so healthcare is a big deal. Banner Health is the number one employer in Arizona or Phoenix area as well. So they're buying hospitals. They have a lot of things going on with the healthcare, and they're scooping up a lot of healthcare places. Number two is Walmart, believe it or not. And then you have Fry's grocery stores, has a big presence out here. They own Fry's is out here, Albertsons and Safeway. Wells Fargo's up in the top 10. A couple grocery stores, a couple banks, Chase Bank. And obviously, state government is a very big employer as well. We are seeing more tech, though. We're seeing Google. Amazon has a big distribution center here. Apple, just in the paper, is opening up some stuff. So a lot of tech. Phoenix is becoming a tech hub because other states, other people in California or other more expensive states are saying, hey, we can move to Arizona because the cost of living is a lot better than it is in these areas that I just mentioned, up in Seattle, up in California, and so forth. This is real pretty through here, as you can see. Just giving you an overview of what the terrain's like here. Real nice. High desert out here. So that gives you a little idea of what's happening with the whole area. And the questions that I usually get are, what are property taxes? A good rule of thumb, property taxes are about 1% of the purchase price. So if you buy a house for $300,000, $3,000 are the property taxes. I'm told that's really good for most of the country, depending on where you're from. They go, wow, that's cheap. But if you're from Iowa or somewhere like that, you go, wow, that's expensive. But overall, it's pretty good. 1%. Sales tax varies from town to town. So when you go out to eat or you buy goods or services, it can be anywhere from 5.6% to about 9% for sales tax. I would say the average is around 7 to 8. Out in Glendale, they're 10 or 11. So it varies from town to town, which makes a difference if you're purchasing a car or something like that. People shop the various towns for the sales tax because it does vary. IRS state tax in Arizona is about 3 to 4.5%. That's not bad at all either for the state tax. So these are questions that I get from people moving here. Hey, they ask this a lot. Average age is kind of shocking. It used to be a lot of older people here. It's about 36. We are a young state. A lot of young people moving here. A lot of millennials moving here. A lot of families moving here. When I grew up, it was 50. It used to be thought of as a retirement area. The 5 C's. Arizona used to be known for the 5 C's: copper, cattle, citrus, climate. And what did I miss? I missed one of them. Copper, cattle, citrus, climate. I can't remember the other one. It'll come to me. You can see this isn't scripted, is it? But right now we still have cattle. We still have a good climate. Oh, cotton. Cotton. We don't have much cotton because of the water. Too much water's used, so we don't have cotton. Citrus. We still have some citrus, but that's moved aside because of development in the outlying areas. They've taken down a lot of the citrus trees. So the number one reason people are moving here is affordability and climate and outdoors activities, location. It's a good place to be. We're coming into Cave Creek, Arizona right now. A little tough with that sun peeking through the clouds there. Hope you can see that. This is a really cool place. There's a lot of restaurants and bars and places to go if you're from out of town. Nice real estate out here. Far-reaching views. There's a lake behind me, Bartlett Lake. There's another lake about 15 miles west of me, Lake Pleasant, which is the largest lake in the States. A lot of water activity here. Arizona has one of the highest boats per capita in the country, believe it or not. So I go to the lake all the time as well. It's really great. Escape the heat. A lot of water activities out here. So that's why people were coming here. So that's completely changed now. A lot of people used to come out here for allergies, for asthma, for emphysema, because of the dryness and the quality of the air, which is still pretty good, believe it or not, for such a large city. You can see we're coming in here to Cave Creek. There's bars and restaurants on both sides. They've got bull riding out here on the weekends, and country dancing and outdoor activities. It's really cool to come out here in the wintertime in Cave Creek, Arizona. You can see all kinds of things. Pretty cool. So that's what's happening with the area, who's moving here, what they're doing, what's happening. How about real estate prices? That's kind of one of the things people are interested in. The average sales price has gone up quite a bit in the last few years. We were decimated, remember, in 2006, 2007. We were one of the hardest hit areas in the country, us, Florida, and Nevada. Everywhere the sun was shining, we got hammered with that horrible time in real estate. I lived through it. I can speak for it. I can speak the truth for it. But right now, it's bounced back. The average sales price, if you took this whole outline area that I mentioned, the average price year to date is $341,443. Now, what does that compare to last year at this time? Last year's sales price was $322,636. That's 5.83% increase, which I like, 4 to 5%. Now, in the last 3 to 5 years, though, we've gone up 50% because we were so far down. The last 2-3 years, we're leveling out 5-6%, which I like. I don't want to see 10-15%. I want to see 4 or 5% growth every year so the bottom doesn't drop out. With interest rates the way they are, people are all starting to buy again. They're 3.5% or right below 4%, depending on the loan, which is incredible right now. So people are starting to buy again. And that's what's fueling the market, plus affordability compared to California, where they bought their house for $300,000. They sold it for $1.5 million. And they go, hey, we're going to come out here to Phoenix. This is pretty cool. We can buy a beautiful house for $400,000, $500,000. Are you kidding me? And we'll put the rest away and retire, or we'll move out here if we're younger and start a nice life and not have as expensive a lifestyle. You know, gasoline's about $3 a gallon here, where I was just in California, it's $4.30 or something like that. It's crazy. So food's less expensive, meals less expensive, everything's 20-30% more in those states that I mentioned, and that fuels why people are coming here in the overall scheme of things. So average age, major players in town are also, we're seeing a lot of stuff on the reservation out here. There's the ballparks, casinos. What do people do here? There's art galleries. There's downtown Phoenix. There is a light rail that services from Phoenix to Tempe, Arizona, and parts of North Phoenix, but it doesn't go far enough to where someone like me that lives in the outskirts would use it. But people down in the downtown, it's very hip and trendy downtown now. Phoenix is really rejuvenated downtown. A lot of hipsters and cool areas, shops. You got the baseball field downtown with the Diamondbacks, and you got the Phoenix Suns right next door. And you have the football field in Glendale, Arizona. But people tend to stay in Scottsdale and South Scottsdale. They call it Old Town Scottsdale, where all the bars and restaurants are. And then they go to the football games or the national championship college football game, and they drive to Glendale, which is about 45 minutes. But Glendale has a nice area too. It's called West Town in Glendale, with shops and restaurants, and it's really neat. They've got hockey arena there as well, and you can really have a good time over there. I went to a hockey game here a few months ago. It was great. And they have concerts. So that is starting to become a destination as well in Glendale, but people still are tending to stay over in Scottsdale, where that's where the action is, and they really like it over there. So you have a lot to offer. You have museums, you have concerts, you've got the Rolling Stones are coming here this month, and you get the big acts, you get the big you got the Phoenix Symphony, you've got some culture with the opera and things like that, art museums, desert botanical gardens. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of free things to do as well. If you get on the internet, there's a lot of free things to do in Phoenix and the surrounding areas. You'd be surprised. People come to hike in the trails and the outdoor activities. So it has a lot to offer. We're about 4.5 hours from Las Vegas, 7 hours from San Diego, 6-7 hours from New Mexico, Albuquerque, you can spin off to a lot of places in a short amount of time, and the airfares are sometimes an hour. You can fly to San Diego in 55 minutes from here, and LA and places like that. So it's a nice little hub for people to live and to go to those areas. Even some people even work in those areas and live here. A lot of pilots or a lot of professionals sometimes work in California and live here because of the lifestyle and affordability. A lot of swimming pools out here too. People have pools in their yards. You'll see a lot of that, swimming pools, but you'll see a lot of single level Spanish style houses out here. These are larger lots out here, up to an acre on some of them. And so it depends on where you want to live. It's so spread out. You really have to research, hey, well, we need to come here and check the areas out, because there's so much to choose from. You can live in the outskirts and towns of Surprise, which are booming right now, and Buckeye and Goodyear. You might have heard about these towns through the media. Or you can live in the East Valley with Chandler and Gilbert, which was voted one of the top towns in the nation to raise a family with. Queen Creek, the outlying areas, Maricopa, and they're starting to take off. And the reason why is their affordability. You know, a house that would be $400,000 right here where we're driving on the outskirts of town, you can buy that same house for $260,000, $270,000. A substantial difference, and people are willing to commute into town if they have to, or if you're retired, you don't even need to worry about a commute. So you're seeing those areas blow up right now, and the growth continues to be west and east. South is already kind of built out, and north is, I'm north here right now, and it's continuing up north all the way here as well. But west and east are where the valley is experiencing huge growth. So it's better to come out and visit and see what goes on. So if you have any questions that I haven't answered, go ahead and hit me up here on the YouTube channel. You'll see some of the comments. People are asking questions. I try to answer them as quickly as possible about jobs or anything else you have. I don't want to keep you too long, because otherwise you'll say, oh, that's too long a video. So I do appreciate you listening. I want you to subscribe to the channel. We post stuff on Phoenix and Prescott and various places. Keep you up to date on the stats and the real estate. That's what we're here for. Bill Inelli at Inelli & Associates Real Estate. Now, I am a 4th generation native of Prescott, Arizona, and we will help you out in Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, any of those areas I mentioned, and Prescott as well. We have agents all throughout the valley, and I personally will help you out as well. So any questions having to do with real estate or the area, don't hesitate to hit me up on YouTube or give us a call, 602-463-9166. 602-463-9166, or the website is azrealestatematters.com. Thanks for listening, and we hope you have a pleasant day or evening.